All right, folks, I just wanted to take another quick minute here and talk to you a little bit more about some of the technology problems I mentioned I was having in my previous videos and what I did about them. I thought maybe this would be interesting for, since I'm going to try and document my journey a little bit as a burgeoning YouTuber. The problems I've encountered, I'm sure are, things other people will face too if they decide to get into it, or, I'm sure there's a load of more experienced people out there that have seen this kind of thing before too. But anyway, just wanted to talk about it a little bit. What I've got here is this SanDisk, I don't know, pretty bog standard 16 gig SUV or SD card. And it's what I've been using in that camera since I bought it. And I bought this camera. It's still the one we're using right now. I don't think that's going to be that way much longer. But anyway, that's the card I've always used in this camera. For pictures, it's been completely fine. Never really had a problem with it. I took video with this thing, I don't know, several years ago, and ended up having issues trying to get this card to copy off, and I'd kind of forgotten about it. And, time marched on. I tried to make some videos, and hey, same problem. This thing, put it in. This is a Dell E6410 laptop. It's a fairly older model Dell business class laptop. I really like these things, but anyway, moving on. This is my daily beater laptop. I actually have a few of these. But anyway, they have an SD card reader built into them right down here. And previously, I didn't have a laptop at all that I was using. I was just using a desktop card reader. And I remember this thing gave me trouble with that desktop card reader once I started having all the problems. So I thought, okay, well, this SD card is probably junk. So that's too bad. So what I did is I ordered some replacement SD cards that are, just different SD cards. The one I've been using for my videos recently is this Lexar professional grade 32 gig SD card. The one that's in the camera right now is actually the twin to this one. They came in a 2-pack. So this is kind of a little bit of an experiment too, to see if both these cards are junk or just this one's junk, or if there's nothing wrong at all. But anyway, so I ordered both these SD cards and said, well, gee, I hope that entire weekend of content I shot isn't just done. And when I did that, I also ordered this Transcend USB 3.0 SD card reader. And I'll mention, I don't know if you can see it, it doesn't particularly matter. But these old Dells have USB 2.0 ports. This one has an express slot in it. So I put a USB 3 card in it. So it's USB 3.0 capable now. Got the Transcend card, plugged this potentially maybe bad SD card into it, and it read it and copied everything off just fine. I fought with that issue for, I bet, a total of 8 or 9 hours before I finally got all the data copied off of it. This Transcend reader did it just fine perfectly the first time, and no more problems after that. So I don't know if there's something wrong with this SD reader. I don't think so, because I actually have 2 of these laptops. And they're not identical, but very, very, very similar. They're both E6410s. And they both had the same problem. The other one would read the card, and then I'd try it in the other one to try and copy more data off, and it wouldn't, and I'd flop back and forth. But anyway, that's what I've done here. And so far, I'm just using the Lexar card, because it's the bigger one. It was the more expensive one. I think this card was like $15. It wasn't a ton of money, with the Transcend reader, and it's been flawless. So that is probably what I'm going to continue to do, is just use this Lexar Pro card and this Transcend reader, and that is going to be our recording solution for this camera anyway. And if we go with a different camera, I'm sure we'll use micro SD cards, and we'll probably get into something completely different again. But that's the problem I was having, and this is the approach I took to try and work my way out of it. And so far, so good. It just goes to show that, something simple. I think this was like $7 or $8. Sometimes is all it takes. And I don't know if it's because this is USB 3, maybe it just works better or whatever, but that's all it took to fix the problem. I fought with that for a long time. So just one of those things. I'll probably keep you guys informed a little bit as I go. I've been learning to edit video and learning how bad the software I'm using is. I'm just using Windows Movie Maker on Windows 7, and it's serviceable but not good. might move on from that too. I'm not afraid to make any investments in the channel, but I want to make sure there's some audience for the channel before basically before I spend money on things that nobody but me would enjoy. I already enjoy most of my hobbies anyway, so if nobody's watching this ever, I think it'll be just kind of disheartening for me. So anyway, baby steps. We're going to take things slowly and a little bit here and there, but that is what the problem ended up being, is there's something up with the card readers in these things that just actually don't like to read cards, and this guy took care of it. And it's interesting that another card reader, the desktop reader I have from years ago, also had a problem with this particular card, but it reads fine in the Transcend. So anyway, one of those deals. Thanks, guys.